Okay, so we're going to use this to write a 2-column proof. And let's talk for just a moment about what information we have and then what it is we're trying to prove. And then we'll put that into the proof 2-column format. Okay, so the information that we have, and let's take a look at our diagram. And I always like to draw on my diagrams. It's super helpful. So we have that measure of angle 4, okay, that's this one right here, plus the measure of angle 7 equals 180. Okay, so those are supplementary angles. That's good to know. But they're not one of our like direct things we've learned about. They're not alternate interior angles. They're not something that we know exactly what to do with. So that means we're going to have to take a few steps. We're trying to prove that C, this line right here, is parallel to D. And so ways that we have to do that are, we could have that, angle 4 plus angle 1 is equal to 180 because angle 1 and angle 4 are same side interior or exterior angles. Okay, we could also approach this with angle 4 and angle 8 in mind. Okay, so we could say that angle 8 and angle 7 are a linear pair, and so those are supplementary. And then we could say angle 8 and angle 4 are supplementary. So we kind of have a couple of ways to approach this. Neither of them are wrong. Remember our UNO example, right? You can use a different method. So this method that I'm going to do is one way to do it. You might have a different way that you choose to do it. So let me get my pen tool up in the brightest color that I've got. And let's go ahead and make our statement and our reason columns. Okay, so statements and reasons. Okay, this first one is always the easy one. So our statement, we're going to say measure of angle 4 plus the measure of angle 7 equals 180. That is information that is given to us. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to go with my theory of trying to figure out how I can make these into something that I do have a theory on. And again, your way can be different than mine. That's okay. So I'm going to start with this angle 7 and angle 1. And I'm going to say angle 7 is congruent to angle 1. Now, that's not given to me. We don't say that we know that because it's given. We know that we've been given a picture. And so we say that the reason for this is because those are vertical angles. Okay, and I'm going to draw that into my picture as something I've now proven. Whoops, press the wrong button there. Something that I've now proven is that angle 1 is congruent to angle 7. That way I keep track in my head something that I know. All right. Now, I also know that, let's see. Well, let's change this to an equal sign, right? Because that's going to be kind of helpful to us, I think. Since we have equal signs up here, I think we want this to be an equal sign instead of the congruent sign. So I'm going to say the measure of angle 7 equals the measure of angle 1. And I'm saying that because of the definition of congruence. We did that during the last unit. If we change from an equal sign to a congruent sign, or we change from a congruent sign to an equal sign, we're using the definition of congruence. Okay. Well, let's see. So from here, let's think about what we know. Well, how about this? What if I were to because I have this angle 7 equals angle 1, I could substitute this angle 1 right here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do measure of angle 1, well, measure of angle 4, plus, and instead of angle 7, I'm going to write the measure of angle 1. 7 and 1 are the same thing. And the reason for that is substitution. Okay. All right, next step, let's think about this. Well, if angle 4 and angle 1 add to 180, then that means angle 4 and angle 1 are supplementary. This is going to go on the second line because I'm running out of space. Angle 1 and angle 4 are supplementary. Okay, the reason for that is the definition of supplementary. You saw that in some of the last ones. Definition of supplementary means that they add to 180. So that means if they add to 180, they're supplementary. All right. And now, because we know that angle 1 and angle 4 are supplementary, we can actually say that C is parallel to D. And the reason for that is what we call the converse of, okay? But really, we don't even have to write that for me this year. You can just write because consecutive, or sorry, I'm using the wrong word. Some people say consecutive instead of same side, but we're using the term same side exterior angles are congruent. Okay, so because the same side not congruent, they're supplementary. Said the wrong thing. Because those are supplementary, then that means that the lines are indeed parallel. Okay, so this is just one example. But let me know if you have any questions.